Today I'm going to show you how to update your Webflow CMS with a CSV file. Here is my Webflow CMS. I have a videos collection and I have a tags collection. So let's look up a video here. Profile editing video. So here's a video. And here are its tags, tutorials and all that. So this will be one of the records we're going to try to update with a CSV file. So the first thing we would do is export the whole collection to a CSV file and import it into a spreadsheet like this. So here's that video there that we looked up. Now, what we're going to modify is the video links, and we'll modify the tags. So let's delete all the other records. We're just going to modify 3 records here. These 3. And what we're going to do is rickroll them. So I'll collect this video link here and we'll paste it for all 3. And now we'll change the tags here. So these are actually the slugs for the tags collection, because they have to be a value that uniquely identifies the tags. In this case, Webflow exports it as the slugs, which is perfect for our example. So let's change it to Webflow Automation. All 3. Okay. So we save the file. And now we can update our CMS with a CSV file. So we're in Power Importer and we're going to clone this workflow here. The first step is we enter a web API key, our Webflow API key. So we already entered it before, so Webflow Power Importer already remembers our site, so we can just continue. And now we have to tell Power Importer which collection we want to update. So we're telling them we want to update the videos, and now we upload our file so that it can read the file and see what the column names are. Now we have to tell Power Importer how to find our Webflow records. So in our file, we have the slug column. So we'll use the slugs because those are unique for every single document. So we'll say, look up Webflow items by slug. And the slug is called slug in our CSV file. And then if we mapped all the fields, we could also tell Power Importer to create a new record if it doesn't find an existing record in Webflow. But in this scenario, we're only updating 3 records. So we'll tell it to ignore the CSV row if it doesn't find a record. So here we have all the Webflow fields. And for each one, we can map a CSV column. So we only modified 2 of them, so we're just going to map those 2. But if we wanted to create new records, we'd have to map them all. Otherwise, the fields would be left blank. So here we have the tags. We'll map it to our tags column. And because in the CSV file, the tags are slugs, these are slugs here, we will tell it to look up the tags by slug, and they're semicolon separated. Now this has to be a unique ID also. In this case, the slug works perfectly. Now we're ready. We can run a test and review. So that's basically a simulation of what the import will do. So it reads all your Webflow items and it looks them up based on the values that are in your CSV file, and it maps all the fields that you mapped. So if this was a real import, it would have updated 3 records, which is what we expected. If we click there, we can see the fields being mapped. So the tags, which were slugs, are now IDs inside Webflow. And the video link, which was just a YouTube URL, is now a Webflow video link, which means that it's not just the link, but it's also all the embed codes that you need to display it properly. Usually, if you cut and pasted a YouTube link in the CMS editor, Webflow would generate that embed code. But when you use the Webflow API or you upload a file, the Webflow does not generate that code. But in this case, Power Importer will generate it for you. And we see the 3 other ones were also mapped. So now we know that the fields are mapped correctly. So we can actually run the import. So this is just like the simulation. It will map the fields, but this time it will actually call the Webflow API and update the records live in your Webflow CMS. And it was successful. Let's go see those videos. So profile editing workflow, like we had it here. This is the old one. So now if we refresh Webflow, and I'll try to find that video again. Profile editing. Here it is with the Rickroll video. And the tags are now Webflow and automation, just like we had in our CSV file. And that's it. That's how you can easily update your CMS with a CSV file.